أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to Living Islam Today, the sister show.
That is an Ahmed Media production.
So I am Nicole, the People's Catalyst.
And I am Yasmin Abbott, the People's Activist. And we are the Sisters of Living Islam Today.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in to 96.1 FM, 900 AM WURD Radio. We missed you guys.
We really, really did miss you guys. Before we get started, today is December 26, 2020. It is 28 degrees outside, but it absolutely feels like 18 degrees outside. So if you're outside today, or if you're about to go out, make sure you bundle up. It is freezing.
For the very reason I'm not going outside. I don't think it's anything that I need that's a necessity. I got everything in here. I had my food, my cat. My kids are all tucked in and safe. I am good. How about you? Are you going out?
You know I am. We'll be going out probably a little bit later. Actually, right after the show, we're probably going to head out. We've been in the house probably.
I get it.
I think. But we have, we need some adult time. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Inshallah.
I get it. Well, this is the first time that I'm able to decompress and relax and I have anything to do. So I am enjoying it.
And I know what that's like too. So if that's what you need, enjoy your me time, get yourself together, enjoy just being in with the kids and that cat that I know that you love so much.
He's right here. I would introduce him to everyone, but maybe next show. He
maybe
wants
next
to say
show.
hello, but maybe next show. So guys, we are back, and guess what? It is our 4th show.
It's our Oh,
And so we're happy to share in these last days of 2020 with you all. It has been surreal. It has been a turbulent time. It has been a happy time. It has been a time where we have experienced ups and downs all year. We went through things like achieving our goals to, accomplishing things that we never thought possible. And in addition to that, we've all coped with things as a result of COVID-19, the civil crisis, and we've all experienced some mental and emotional effects of it all. So it has been a turbulent year, surreal, the good and the bad. We are still rocking, we are still moving. Us as a people, we have that quality about us to just keep on thriving no matter what. As long as we have Allah, as long as we have our family, as long as we have our friends, our ambitions and our goals, and just having hope that things will get better for us, we're gonna continue to excel.
yes, absolutely. I also want to reiterate on that a little bit, making sure that, we absolutely need a law. That's our foundation. Our Islam is our foundation. But make sure you have a solid foundation around you as well, And for some of us, getting through some of the tough times that we got through this year is, all in account to, Allah, our du'as, us staying firm in our religion, and the people that we reminding us to keep pushing, to keep going, all of that stuff. Because again, it's been a historical year for us. There's things that we've been through that, we have never experienced before. Never did you and I in a million years think that we'd have been marching next to one another, fighting for justice at 35 years old. We didn't think that was going to be a thing for us in 2020, but it was. We watched on camera so many Black lives were taken from us. And, these are things that were new to us, but some people were reliving these, those who were around for the 60s and the 50s and things like that. They were reliving these moments. And also right here in Philly, we were literally a part of what I feel as though was rocking the vote. I feel like, being a Black American woman from Philadelphia is the thing to be right now. And we are already proud about being Black African American women, and being a Black American woman from Philly, I feel like is a great, woohoo, because yes, that we were historic right when it came to the election. And I'm super, 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 super proud of the turnout, the support, the way everyone, I'm proud. And, more so because I'm an African American woman and my vice president is an African American woman, and I am astonished. Like, I am ecstatic. I am excited to see what this is about to bring. I have been talking to my daughter about it, and just being able to live through these moments is beyond historic. However, not only is our vice president a Black woman, she is also part of the dynamic Divine Nine.
Say it again, honey.
Let me repeat it a little bit. She is also a part of the dynamic Divine Nine. And so for those of you who are tuning in with us for the second, third, or fourth time, or even the first, today, purposely, Nicole and I are wearing these dynamic royal blue and white colors, because also since the last time you guys have seen us, Nicole and I accomplished another one of our goals, and we joined.
Make me cry, honey.
I know, the absolute best Black sorority that is also a part of the Divine Nine, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I'll just give you a little. I'm gonna just give you a history, since we're here. It was organized at Howard University in Washington on January 16th, 1920. It is still our centennial year. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated has been providing service all across the world since 1920. That has been for 100 years. So as the result of the encouragement given to the 5 founders by Charles Taylor and Langston Taylor, members of Phi Beta Sigma Sorority Incorporated, our beautiful 5 founders, Arizona Cleaver Simmons, Pearl Anna Neal, Murda Tyler Faithful, Viola Tyler Goins, and Fannie Petty Watts, they founded the dynamic principles of scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finer womanhood. So last thing I'm gonna give you real quick before we, go on to something else is we are the first and the only sorority to be constitutionally bound with another fraternity, which is Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So hello to our
honey, say that again.
Hello. And shout out to everybody that is a part of the Dynamic Divine Nine. This is definitely a historic year for us, and I am so looking forward to January 2021.
And a major shout out to our MIP coordinators, Lavanya A. Page and Latanya Bueller. So we really love you guys, and we appreciate everything that you have done for us. You know, among everything that Yasmin said, we are the best sorority, and we do have many firsts. The first to establish auxiliary groups. We are absolutely the first to chapter in Africa, okay? So we are the best sorority.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Divine Nine, but you cannot deny that sweet Zeta love.
You cannot. We are so sweet. So, moving right along, getting back to our show. We don't want to hold you guys up with black sororities because I promise you we can do a whole show about it, and it will probably be super fun.
So as always, we like to start with the words of Allah and place in the peace and blessings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So I'm going to get started with, again, giving you all salams. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I'm going to recite the first book in the Quran, which is Al-Fatiha. And I'm going to recite it for you all in Arabic. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta 'alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim. Wala dallin. Ameen.
Sexual chocolate. Why don't you just say it again? Sexual chocolate. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. That's nothing to joke about. Before I read the English transliteration for you guys, I wanted to correct my co-MIP's name. I apologize. It's Latanya Jones. You would kill me. Everybody would kill me. I just thought about it. So blame it on my nerves, my beautiful Sora. I love you to death. So the English transliteration is as follows. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praises and thanks are to Allah, the Lord of Alameen, mankind and jinn, and all that exists. The most gracious, the most merciful, the only owner and the only ruling judge of the day of recompense. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help in each and everything. Guide us on the straight path, the way of those who have bestowed your grace, and out of those who have earned your anger.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
You are very welcome, my dear.
Before we also continue on with the fabulous show and the things that we have in store for you all, we're actually going to take a break and pay some bills because, that's how we keep things going around here at WURD. So we will see you guys right back after this very, very short break.
You'll be back where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides.
Providing free, hot, nutritious meals. Percent of Philadelphia's population live below the poverty line in 2017. There's an increasing share of residents struggling to cover the most fundamental necessities. On a national level, Philadelphia was among the highest with poverty rates. Muslim Serve's mission is to develop and implement programs addressing food insecurity in collaboration with local community partners. Fundamentally, Muslim Serve strives to uplift those in our community by providing free, hot, nutritious meals. This is done by partnering with a variety of local community organizations and establishments with the goal to bring comfort to those in need and to relieve hunger in our area, no matter who they are. Veterans, students, people with disabilities, single parents, senior citizens, working class families, and children. Muslim Serve can be reached by phone at 833-486-4370 or by email at info@muslimserve.org. Learn more about Muslim Serve and what they do on their website, muslimserve.org, and on their social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @Muslim Serve. You're listening to Living Islam Today, an Ahmed Media Company project on WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM.
All right, we are back. Thank you again for tuning in with us at WURD on 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Again, guys, you can also view us on Facebook Live by going to Facebook at FORD and on YouTube at ONWURD. That's at onWURD. So as the show starts, we will also like to hear from you. So, we like to get to our callers. We always have to apologize ahead of time if for any reason we weren't able to get to you, or if the show ran over. But it's always our intention to absolutely get our callers in. So we would like for you guys to give us a call at 215-634-8065. Again, it's 215-634-8065 or 1-866-361-0900.
So we have a great show for you all. And again, to reiterate what Yasmin said, we have a guest today who has a wealth of knowledge. So the show, an hour goes by very quickly. And if we don't get a chance to answer any calls, know that we are all working really hard to keep the show going because it's COVID and we are all working from home. So due to technical issues, we may get to you or we may not, but we definitely want you guys to chime in, to log on to Facebook, type in some notes under our page. It's being broadcast live right now. So tell us what you think and be ready for this wealth of information. So we have a great show for you guys today. With us, we have one of our favorite guests, Natasha Somalia. You've heard about her humble beginnings, her influence of her family, her love of hair. She is a mom mogul, an entrepreneur who never sleeps. She is a spark that keeps on going, a love and light that we all know and appreciate, who will give her last to make sure that you are achieving and living your best life, improving the quality of life for yourselves and for herself. So we can go on, but this is a dope Muslim mom, and she has shared with us some history behind hair, as far as taking care of yourself, as far as growth and how she got started. So what else can this dope Muslim mom impart upon us?
I mean, so honestly, Somalia, she's just a wealth of womanhood. Again, I think it was you who's always quoting, like, this is the year of the shero, right? And Somalia she's just that to me. She, anytime I'm calling her about something, the first thing she's always asking is, Yazzie, what are you eating? Yazzie, what have you been eating? Yazzie, are you stressed out? And FYI, for those who may or may not know, there's only two people on this earth who actually literally call me Yazzie, my grandma and Somalia. Well, and all of Somalia's kids. That's always her thing. She's not just worried about what's going on with you on the outside. She understands that everything that we have going on internally affects us on the outside. So she, literally tries to go and start at the roots, which is inside for her. Somalia has been doing tons of research, and she has been making sure that, she stays abreast of, important information, because as we all know, according to the CDC, disease is one of the leading causes of death in America. And some of those, diseases include like heart disease, cancer, chronic lower respiratory disease, diabetes, and so much more. So when you're sitting in her chair, if you ever, engage with Somalia and you're sitting in her chair, it's never going to just be about hair, because that's not even, to me, honestly, that's only about like 25% of what she gives you when you leave. By the time you've left Somalia, the wealth of knowledge and information that she's giving you to walk out of that door has literally, all people are always like, oh, when you go to the salon, you leave out a new person. But when you go into Somalia's chair, it's an absolute fact. You're definitely going to come out a new person because of all of what she pours into you when you're sitting in her chair. It's deeper than, I'm just tossing your hair, you're going to look cute, throw your hijab back on, and then you're fine when you walk out the door. No, she wants to make sure that the longevity of your life is extended once you interact and meet her. It's amazing.
So you said a lot, and it speaks to, we're actually in a fragile area where COVID-19 has turned the lives of our families and ourselves upside down. So those diseases that you mentioned, they actually attribute to people who are high risk and who could actually develop COVID-19 pretty quickly and pretty severely. So it's important for us to be here to take actionable steps to reducing our risk of obtaining COVID-19. And not only do we have a great topic of superfoods for you guys, it's actually one of the prophetic medicines that is mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah a lot. So it was narrated by Abu Huraira, radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "There is no disease that Allah has created except that He has also created its treatment." So those superfoods that Somalia is going to touch and impart upon us is really beneficial for our older community, for our high-risk community. I myself have suffered from a heart attack, so this segment is actually really near and dear to my heart because I'm always striving to improve the quality of my own life. I'm 36 and I have a stent placed in my heart. So the jewels that she's about to drop upon us, it has no age, it has no limitations, no race or anything like that. You can easily be affected with any of those diseases that Yasmin mentioned. So it's good for us to take care and nourish our body.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. A lot of this is personal for a lot of us. And one of the things, there's one thing that we have once we're born and when we, return to Allah, and that's our health and that's our own life. So, that's literally one of the things that should always be our top priority because it's something that's always with us. It does not matter whether we're sleeping, whether we're awake, it's with us. Our health, ourselves, it's with us. So that's definitely something that we should, take heed to and put at the top of our priority list. Definitely, COVID is a scary thing. Any disease, virus, and things of that nature is a very scary thing, but it's more important to go into things with knowledge. And alhamdulillah, as Muslims, we know that, Islam teaches us, Islam is a religion of knowledge. So obtaining knowledge it's our priority. It's a necessity. And that doesn't just stop with our religion. That's with everything that has to do with us. Learn about who you are as a Black woman, a Black man, what affects you, your history, your medical history, your family's medical history, and learn about ways that the kitchen and how the items in our kitchen can either be a detriment to us or a help to us. And let me just get into some things about Somalia, being a health coach and a plethora of other things just to introduce her. So Natasha Somalia is a hair care specialist, CEO, founder of Covered the Salon. She has been with 29 experience as a hairstylist. She is the founder of, and I'm gonna hope I don't chop this up somehow, and if I do, charges my heart. Alifia, which is her wellness portion of all of the things that she's a part of and that she's the CEO of, not a part of, I'm sorry, the CEO of. She opened her first salon 24 years ago. And she still has the same, passion for hair now that she did then 29 years ago. She's a product developer. She designs quality products that moisturizes, strengthens, and gives life to every single hair strand, as well as nutrients for your body. And she's an educator, spreading knowledge about hair loss and hair growth management problems and solutions. Somalia is also a health coach, as I mentioned. Making a difference from a holistic approach to help people understand nutrition and wellness as an individual. And she is also the author of Added In: Why Superfoods an Effective Guide to Building Your Own Immune System. But that is not the only thing she's an author of, but I'm going to allow Somalia to come in and tell you what else she is the author of.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much for joining us, beautiful. I love you. You have a big piece of my heart. You are the bomb.com, and I cannot express that enough. So before we ask you some questions, I just wanted to extend to the audience that one of the superfoods that's from the Sunnah is olive oil or olives. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Eat olive oil and anoint yourselves with it, for it is from the blessed tree." So getting into that, let's tell our audience, what are superfoods and what is their benefit?
Okay, so superfoods, there are a variety of them. And it's a terminology that, of course, the doctors do not like to use because they are taught to study medicine. They don't study nutrition. Doctors study medicine. They don't study nutrition. So superfoods are tons of foods that we have that we may not even know that have these just wonderful benefits for us. And it's really, really hard. And it's not new. Dr. Sabi, Dr. Wyatt, and Dick Gregory have talked about all of these things for many, many years. So superfoods are, if blueberry is a superfood. It's an antioxidant. So who would have known that eating blueberries would give you so much energy? So when people go and they want to say, okay, I want to drink that coffee. Well, don't drink the coffee. Just eat a handful of blueberries and you're going to get that, that amazing effect. So there's a lot of them. I'm still
I needed to hear that as I really love coffee. Thank you. So I'm going to try some blueberries instead of my coffee. I'm going to try. I can't promise you.
Try some blueberries. Yeah. So when I became a health coach last year, there were a lot of things that I learned about diets and nutrition. And the superfoods was just something that really stood out to me because I just was like, no way, this is not going to work like this, or this is not going to have this effect. So in learning that, I was just amazed with the superfoods. And yes, I ate 2 packets of blueberries one day and I had to make myself go to sleep because I wanted to be a believer. Like, can these blueberries really do this? But when we talk about high blood pressure and diabetes, if you were to start incorporating superfoods into your daily diet, guess what? You may not have those things. So the book that I wrote added in, all you have to do is add the superfoods into your nutritious meals. So if you just start to add a little bit in, you'll start to see that change. I had said before that my mother has kidney disease, and it's really, really something because when she goes into her doctor's appointment, her doctor says, I really wish I could take you off of this machine because her levels are so good. Why? Because I started to incorporate superfoods into her diet. So, but if you know anything about kidney disease, once you're on dialysis, if you're not a candidate for a kidney, you have to remain on dialysis. So I'm just glad that her numbers are able to stay high and that I educated myself to know, what works for her, because guess what? What may work for her may not work for you. So we want to make sure that we always say that one person's food is another person's poison. So everything does not work for everybody.
That's, what, Somalia, that's actually true. And a lot of people, there's just so much knowledge that a lot of people don't know and don't understand. So I want to say alhamdulillah and barakallah feek to you for diving in and then deciding that this isn't information that you need to keep to yourself. Because one of the things that I think that we're learning as a people is that we're not benefiting from just giving our own self all this wealth of knowledge, right? We have to be able to go ahead and throw that knowledge out there for the community, for the world to benefit from, so that we can all continue on and so that it can spread across our children, our grandchildren, and our community. So, shukran and barakallah feek. May Allah reward you greatly for that, because it's needed. And I can honestly say, I don't recall talking about these things in school. Whether it was elementary school, middle school, high school, or college, it wasn't a conversation. But I do remember the conversation being important that, you have to take care of yourself. You always have to work out. You always have to take care of your mental health and your mental well-being. But the foods that we're eating it's not a high priority on the list. And that, to me, it needs to be. So one of the questions that I have for you, Somalia, are like, what are some superfoods that would be good and beneficial to people who suffer from like heart disease or diabetes, hypertension, and even obesity?
Okay, so this is not a superfood, but it is a vegetable. It is celery. If you drink celery juice on an empty stomach every morning, your blood pressure will become regulated. I'm not a doctor. This is just something that works for me, but I just tell people my job as a health coach is to work with your doctor. So I'd like to tell people, if you are suffering from heart disease and diabetes, ask your doctor to speak to a nutritionist. So, that's my partner. You're a nutritionist. My job is to make sure you're doing what the nutritionist is telling you to do. What I like to tell my clients is, hey, drink the celery juice, try the celery juice. And when you go to your next doctor's appointment in 30 days, when your doctor asks you, hey, your levels is changing, then you have your answer. So there's not a specific superfood that will say, oh, this is just for the heart, or this is just the diabetes. I like to tell people to try the celery juice. But like for people who have liver disease, beets, who would have known that eating beets will help you if you had liver disease? Also, beets are a great source of oxygen. So I make an elderberry and beet shot. And for people who may be going through COVID or getting over COVID, they have been drinking these shots and, just to feel better. But I want to tell people, don't just wait until you get sick to start doing it. Start incorporating it into your daily diet. Like Nicole said, she likes to drink coffee. If she just adds some maca to maybe some hot chocolate or something, it has the same effect, but it's not as bad as of effect as the coffee, because maca has caffeine-like, properties. So it's going to get you hype. But these superfoods, they do so many other things as far as women and their libido, and men and the sperm count and everything else. Maca is great for that. And guess what? It's natural. It's not a chemical. We have women out here who are, what do you call it? Anxiety. And I don't know the name of the medication that they give, but I know it's habit forming. But they can take ashwagandha. Ashwagandha will calm you down and let you sleep like a baby. We have the reishi mushroom for relaxation if you're stressed out. We have chlorella. If you don't want to eat your spinach and you don't want to eat your kale, just sprinkle a little chlorella on your salad, put it in your oatmeal. If you don't want to taste it or you can't look at it and all that, it's like, oh, that's your daily source of greens right there. Just a quarter of a teaspoon of chlorella every day is your daily source of everything. Yazzie, she said, oh, Somalia, because the sugar and these delicious gummies that I have, I can't take that vitamin. So you know what I did? I'm going to research. So now I have a vitamin called the Hair Blend. It has amla in it. It has chia seeds in it. It has vitamin E in it. And guess what? It's a superfood vitamin. So that's what I do. I listen to what people say and what people say that they need, and I formulate it and get it out there.
Somalia, it's always so funny when you remind me of something that I don't even remember. Until you just said that, I completely forgot about that. And I have no gummies in the house. I don't eat any gummies. And I remember when I went to the doctor and found out what, for me personally, what that causes. I went and I called you because you know me, I'm like, Somalia, hey, this is what the doctor told me. She's like, you're like, okay, get rid of it. We're going to find another solution. We're going to find, X, Y, and Z. And I love that about you. One of the things that, Nicole and I share is, and what's funny is she's way better with her treatment than I am. We're both anemic. Our hemoglobin level is very, very low. And the only thing that I've ever known about superfoods is moringa. And after doing like a ton of research, and I think it was like my dynamic doctor out there, for those of you who may or may not know her, Dr. Safia Shabazz, she told me about, moringa, because I have, my hemoglobin is really always generally very low and I'm very anemic. And that's the only superfood that I can absolutely say for a fact works. The moringa plant, the moringa seeds, they work and they help to increase your hemoglobin level. Because I do, I'm not always eating my spinach, as as we know, will help increase that, our hemoglobin level. But those are the things that, if you don't talk to the right people, if you're not engaged with the right folks, you won't know those kinds of things. And you'll just be, drowned with medication when the real medication is in what we're eating.
Yes, and moringa is the top seller.
Sorry. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. I was just saying moringa is a top seller for the people who can't take the gummies. That is the vitamin of the day. That is your multivitamin for the day, the moringa. Yes.
So I have to check into that because I have a heart condition, but I'm definitely interested in that. But I do know one of the things that I have picked up from you is juicing celery. I found out that it was 95% water. So that's good. It's been good, really good for my skin on top of the turmeric that I put on it. It also is high in acids. So I have gut issues. I take pantoprazole and sometimes it doesn't work. So I feel like with taking the celery juice, it's helping to break down a food and it's giving me much better relief. And as far as like anxiety, a lot of us are functional people who have anxiety. We just learn to walk around with it. And I feel like the celery juice also lowers stress. So it's a lot. It doesn't taste that good, I'm be honest. But it has been really helpful in adding that to my diet. So I want to thank you for that. And I'm feeling like, are these things inside of your book? How can our listeners and our watchers pick up on these things? I wanted to know more about the 2 books. I know you have more, but the 2 books that we did mention, tell us about them and where we can find them and what's in them, just to get our listeners and our watchers to pick them up and educate themselves on good health.
Okay, so I always like to give people my phone number because I like to interact with people, so they can always call me.
So a lot of people are going to call y'all. Like 10,000 people are going to call y'all.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll answer. So my number is 215-264-1100. 215-264-1100. My website is NatashaSomaliaShop.com. NatashaSomaliaShop.com. So the books that came out, added in first, it was oh my goodness, I have a brain freeze about your immune system.
About your hair, right?
No. I have books about health.
Okay.
So building your immune system. As soon as COVID, I had already been almost like finished being a health coach at school. So it's like soon as COVID hit, I was like, I got to write an ebook. Yeah. The guide to building up your immune system. I'm not sure that's the name of it. Building your immune system. And then right after immune system, it came in the one with how to deal with stress because everybody was going frantic. So I had to, put something out about that. So then as, like I said, everything was going around with the COVID. I was like, they need a book on superfoods. So these are all ebooks and you can order them on my website at NatashaSomaliaShop.com. Or if you would like the hardback, just text me and tell me you would like a hard copy and I will make sure that you get one. But they are ebooks. And in those books is whatever knowledge that I learned, because that was my goal when I went to school to be a health coach, not only for myself and my family, but for my community and my clients that I service, just to let them know. And when I first started talking about being a health coach and saying everything online, I think I had 8 women come to me that all had kidney disease, that doctors did not tell. They didn't know it was certain foods. People think that, oh, you're sick. Just eat broccoli, just eat this, just eat that. But like spinach, cooked spinach, someone who has kidney disease, they can't eat cooked spinach because spinach changes to something else when it's cooked. So they can only eat raw spinach. So it was just something. And I was just like, wow, this is really amazing. This is really, happening. But I'm glad that I was able to tell them, look, you need to get back to your doctor, speak with your nutritionist. And then when you struggle, you need help, then, that's when you call me because I can't medicate or treat anyone because I'm not a doctor. But yeah.
So are you available to be someone's health coach? Is that one of your services?
Yes, that's one of my services. Now I have dedicated Sundays to my health coaching. I have a 6-month program where I go with you one-on-one for 6 months to get things together, because what we don't understand is when it's about our health, yes, but it's about some other things too. And it's a whole plate full of stuff. And that stuff is relationships, career. So all those things join together with why are we eating? Why are we binge eating? And why this and why that? It's not just about food. So we get into that when the coaching starts.
And I would highly recommend a health coach and a life coach, because the emotional habits that we have, the behavioral patterns that we have, and our eating, they're all interdependent upon each other, especially when we're stressed out. We are emotionally attacked by our surroundings and our environment and the things that we have going on with our life. So you guys, if you are in need of a wellness coach, a health coach, please contact Natasha Somalia. I highly recommend it. As you can see, she's providing us with a wealth of knowledge. So guys, contact her to add to your daily life routine.
And I actually also, too, before we continue, I wanted to slowly make sure that everyone got that information. So again, her phone number is 215-264-1100. And that is by telephone. You can text her, you can call her. And the website that she gave you was NatashaSomalia.com. That's NatashaSomaliaShop.com. So Somalia, quick question. So we as Muslims, we follow the Islamic calendar, but for those who are not, they follow the Gregorian calendar. So for them, they're coming up on the end of their Gregorian year, and they're, going into their new year. And so what's some advice that you would give, some individuals out there in terms of making changes and, whether it's with their diet, taking care of their body, what's some of the advice that you would give them to give them the jump start to get started? What route would you tell them to go?
The first thing I would tell them to go, and it's something that I do as one of my health coach sessions, go to the produce before you go to the market. Mm-hmm. You can find, there's so many things, substitute some mushrooms for some meat, there's so many vegetables that we don't even think about eating, like zucchini, squash, change some of those things. And you'll see that if you go to the produce first, you'll be in the supermarket trying to figure out, what do I need here? And when you do go to the supermarket, shop on the outer side, on the outer parts of the market. And pay attention to stuff. There's so many things.
What does that mean? I don't mean to interrupt you, but when you say shop on the outer side, what do you mean? Like just not down the aisles?
Not down the aisles.
Like the vegetables and all of the things like on the outskirts. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. The vegetables. And, when you get bread, get it from the bakery. It's something that I learned. If you go home and you have a loaf of bread, mm-hmm. I want you to take that loaf of bread. I mean, you can still eat it, I guess. And squeeze it. It's nothing but air. It's not real. The stuff that we are eating, it is not real. But if you go to this bakery over here, when they're making that bread, or Panera bread, where they're making that bread, that's real bread. That stuff that's in the bag, it's not bread. But there's so many other things that we could do. Start taking some self-care. Everybody now is so excited about the eucalyptus and the eucalyptus in the shower. You want to take time out for you and your self-care and drink more water. We want to put down the juices and the sodas and stuff and really cleanse our body out and pay more attention, because food is medicine and we want to eat to live.
Right. And lots of times we eat because we are...
I'm sorry, Nicole, go ahead.
I wasn't going to say anything, but lots of times we just eat because it tastes good or it soothes our feelings or just because we're being greedy. But I agree, we definitely need to eat to live. And that's hard, especially because the economy makes, for me, I feel like I go to Whole Foods and I buy some groceries and I spend $100 and I only come out of there with 2 bags, maybe. And I do it because, as I said, I have underlying health issues and I have gut issues and things like that. But what about for our population who are struggling? Shoot, I'm struggling, as someone who is, have a job. But for those who can't afford to buy those healthy alternatives and things like that.
Okay, so this is the thing. Everybody doesn't always have to eat organic. So if you're eating canned, we want to get you out the can and get you to the frozen. And then we get you out to the frozen and then we get you into the fresh. We get you out to the fresh and then we get you out to the organic if you can. Okay. So I don't shop at Whole Foods. I shop at the produce.
Okay.
I shop
I'm lazy. That's why I said Whole
and
Foods.
it's much cheaper.
I'm lazy.
Instead of buying, I think I told you guys this before, which made me want to become a health coach. I used to go to BJ's, and I have 5 children. So this one wants juice boxes, this one wants Gatorade, and this one wants this. And I realized I had a whole cart full of juice. I said, I'm not buying that crap. That probably was going to be about $250. And that was a while ago. That was some years ago. But now I go to the produce and I get a case of apples for $26. And my children know how to juice. So they got apples, they got carrots, they have oranges.
Right.
You better juice it. That's the only juice that's coming in Somalia house.
What's an affordable juicer?
I got one on the way.
Oh, for you. Okay. Oh, awesome.
Oh,
okay. So we should all look out for that.
Yeah, that was cute. That was cute.
It's on the way. I'm testing. Inshallah, we should be able to have it by February. That is my next goal. Inshallah, that is my next goal. I just put it out there. But that is my next goal. Inshallah, I want to have an affordable juicer for everyone to be able to afford to have.
Okay. So Yaz and I are going to look forward to ours because we are unofficial brand ambassadors, you know. So we'll be there first in line.
Yes.
Okay.
Somalia, really quickly too, I want to make sure that you reiterate and that we reiterated something that you said very subtly. I think it's really important for people to know that we shouldn't be reactionary. We have to be very proactive with our health. We have to start now. We can't wait until we're sick to try to build our immune system. One of the things that my husband and I started when COVID began was we started, making sure that we were boosting our immune system. So we started doing our own research. We started calling some of like my Caribbean friends, parents, like, hey, what do you guys do? And one of the main things that we knew that we needed was ginger. So we stacked on ginger, honey, turmeric, all of those superfoods that you talked about. We made sure that we had those in our house and that they were a part of our regular diet, whether it was tea, whether we were actually eating ginger, all types of things, just making sure it was a part of our daily routine to boost our immune system because we didn't want to wait until something tragic happened to, start focusing on our health.
Yes, you did the correct thing.
So ladies, we do have a caller and he is from Germany. So we want to let him chime in. He has been waiting so patiently.
Hi, thank you for calling in.
This is from.
Oh no, it's difficult to hear you.
It's difficult to hear me?
Yes.
No, it's perfect. Now we can hear you perfectly. How are you?
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. I'll try my question anyway, even though we have the gremlins on the phone. I heard one of you say you're not a doctor and you don't diagnose or treat disease. Legally, what would happen to you if you did diagnose and treat a disease with success?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't think that Somalia would diagnose anyone with the disease. I don't think that any of us in our professions would diagnose anyone with the disease. So basically a wellness and a health coach is just there to give you a guide and beneficial tips on how to improve your health and your quality of life, not to actually diagnose you with having a disease. But if our intellect tells us, maybe this is going on with you, the redirection would be towards your primary care physician or whatever doctor that you see. But none of us in our professions, it's mental health, it's wellness, all of the above, but we definitely wouldn't diagnose anybody with a disease. We might suggest, hey, maybe this is going on with you, but to see your primary care provider.
I'm sorry, and I also didn't get our caller's name. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name is Rick.
Hi, Rick. Nice to meet you.
I would like to also add to your conversation that I was struck with CIA-grade parasites in 2003 in Washington, D.C. And there was a doctor, a Seventh-day Adventist, and a military man, but also a naturopathic doctor who was not able to diagnose the parasites, but he was familiar with them, and he treated me for them, and he gave me the drugs against them, and he put himself at risk in the legal system. And I thank Dr. Ted Watkins for that treatment there in Washington, D.C.
So health is a combination of wellness and seeing a proper doctor. You do have alternative healing. You do have holistic healing, and all of those are appropriate, but you still should see a doctor in combination with all of those things that you're obtaining.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you again for calling in, Rick. It's astonishing and a pleasure that we're able to reach someone in Germany. I think we actually have a soror right now that's stationed in Germany, if I'm not mistaken, Nicole. So shout out to our soror. I think it is soror Sandra is in Germany right now.
No, she's in the UK.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you're on mute, Nicole. You're on mute.
Sorry, that was super hyped, guys. So we are coming up on the hour. We are getting ready for Rick Ford in the recovery hour. And so we wanted to spend these last 4 minutes with Somalia. Please give us some lasting words as we enter into 2021, where we are coming out of this turbulent year, and we are all starting a path of newness for us. We want to be well. We want to be right. We want to be popping in all facets of our life. So drop some gems on us, girl.
Okay, so we just want to make sure one of my sayings and that I like to say is one of my slogans is SOAP. We want to make sure that we are doing things that are simple, original, authentic, and pure. It's really, really simple. And like I said, the produce and the produce junctions is a wealth, it's just nutrition. And some people don't even know, they just know the market, the supermarket. So I encourage everyone to go to the produce junction and try, you see this, add that color. Beets are high and red, and the oranges are nice and yellow, and the kale is nice and green. Add some color to your plate, and it may add some time to your life as well.
Inshallah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you again so much, Somalia. May Allah reward you and increase you in all that is good in this life and the next. May Allah increase your wealth. May Allah increase your knowledge and allow it to continue extending and stretching upon, going into rooms that you never imagined being in. And I love you so much, and thank you so much for all that you've poured into me since I was 21, mashallah.
Mashallah. Shukran for having me.
So guys, you've seen her here first before she becomes a millionaire. Know that she sat with us and blessed us with her presence before she becomes that multi-millionaire. Because as you see, she's dropping product after product, and it's not just for monetary gain, but it's for us. That's the biggest thing. The biggest takeaway that I want you guys to see, that everything that she does is for us, for the betterment of our life and the quality of our life. Our hair, so that we can go home looking fantastic for our husbands, honey, or just for ourselves, and the inside, so that we can live longer and have some longevity. So again, Somalia, thank you so much for your presence. Is always appreciated.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So thank you guys again. That was, another bomb show. Thank you, Nicole, for providing, your beautiful spirit and it's always greatly appreciated, Soror. So right now we're going to go ahead and close out. Thank you for tuning in with us at the Sister Show, and stay tuned for the Recovery Hour next that's coming up with Rick Ford.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.